So let's talk about change, real change. Ever wondered why most New Year's resolutions fail by February? It's not because of a lack of effort. It's because we're trying to run brand new software on a really old, outdated operating system. Today, we're going to talk about how to upgrade that system, the one running inside your own head. When we decide we want to change something, this is almost always where we start, right? We think, okay, I'm going to force this new habit into my life. We try to muscle our way through a new routine or a new action. And when that doesn't stick, which, let's be honest, it often doesn't, we aim higher. We set these huge, inspiring goals, thinking that if the vision is grand enough, it'll just pull us along for the ride. But here's the thing. This is the part almost everyone misses. We're busy tweaking the apps, our habits, and our goals, when the real problem is the operating system itself. Lasting transformation, that starts way deeper. It starts with who you fundamentally believe you are. So let's be really clear. Your identity is your internal operating system. It's the base code that's always running in the background. It's this silent script that's making decisions for you long before you're even consciously aware of them. It defines the borders of what feels possible for you and what just feels off or not like you. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. We all have good days, right? Days where we can push ourselves and reach for those big goals. But what happens when you're tired, stressed, when life tests you? You don't rise to the level of your ambitions. You default to your programming. You fall back to who you truly believe you are. This is exactly why just using willpower is almost always a losing battle. Willpower is a constant, uphill fight against your internal OS. It feels forced, it's exhausting, and eventually that system just crashes. But when your actions are aligned with your identity, it feels natural. It feels effortless. And in the long run, identity wins every single time. You have to understand, these little stories we tell ourselves, they aren't just descriptions of reality, they are commands. If you have a deep-seated belief that says, I'm just not consistent, your brain will literally search for ways to make that true. If you believe I'm bad with money, you will subconsciously find ways to sabotage your finances. Your behavior always follows your belief. So how do we fix this? Well, we have to operate on the right level. Most people start at level 1, focused on outcomes. I'll be happy when I lose 20 pounds. The problem is, that's super unstable because it depends on results you can't always control. So then some people move to level 2, focusing on habits. I'm trying to work out 3 times a week. That's better, for sure, but it can still feel fragile. The real magic, the lasting change, happens at level 3, character. Here, the focus isn't on what you get or what you do, it's on who you are being. It's, I am the kind of person who doesn't miss workouts. Now that is a rock-solid foundation. All right, so that's the what and the why. Now for the how. How do we actually engineer this identity shift? Let's get really practical and break down the 5 steps to building a whole new internal operating system. Okay, here's our 5-step game plan. First, you've got to define the new you, crystal clear. Second, you have to prove it to yourself with tiny, manageable actions. Third, you're going to change your inner language. Fourth, you'll align your environment to make success the easy choice. And finally, you'll reinforce it all with a simple reflection practice. Let's dig into each one. Step 1. And honestly, this is the foundation for everything that follows, because you simply cannot become what you do not clearly define. Look, vague goals like, I want to be healthier, are totally useless. Your brain just doesn't know what to do with that. You need a sharp, specific identity statement. Not, I want to write a book, but I am a writer. Not, I should probably work out, but I am an athlete. This isn't just playing with words. It's giving your internal OS a clear, direct command. All right, on to step 2. Now, just saying it isn't quite enough. Your brain's a little skeptical. It doesn't believe what you tell it. It believes what you show it. I want you to think of every single action you take as a vote for the type of person you want to become. Every time you write 1 page, you cast a vote for, I am a writer. Every time you do 10 push-ups, you cast a vote for, I am an athlete. The goal here isn't to be perfect. It's just to start stacking up evidence. Small wins are literally the building blocks of a new you. Okay, step 3. This one is huge, and it happens completely between your ears. It's all about mastering your internal language. Listen to how you talk to yourself. When you say, I'm trying to eat healthy, you're programming yourself for a struggle. You're telling your brain that failure is a very real option. But when you shift to, I am a healthy eater, that's a statement of fact. It's not a goal, it's who you are. So stop trying. Start being. Step 4. Let's talk about the world around you, your actual physical space. Because your environment is constantly casting votes for your identity, whether you realize it or not. Think about it. If you want to be a reader, but your books are tucked away and the TV remote is sitting right on the coffee table, which identity is going to win? You have to make your desired identity the path of least resistance. Hide the junk food. Put your running shoes by the door. Make the cues for your new self obvious and easy. And that brings us to our final step, number 5. This is how you make the changes stick. This is how you lock it all in. This is so simple, but so powerful. At the end of every day, just ask yourself, how did I prove I was your new identity today? By consciously recognizing the evidence, even the tiny wins, you are actively strengthening those neural pathways. You're wiring that new identity into your brain, making the connection stronger night after night. Now, as you do this, you have to be on the lookout for these common traps. These are the little identity killers that will sabotage all your progress. Every time you catch yourself saying, "Oh, that's just how I am," you're reinforcing the old OS. Every time you break a small promise to yourself, even something tiny, you're casting a vote against the person you want to become. You have to protect your integrity with yourself. So let's bring this all together, because this is the most important part. This whole process, it's not about erasing who you are. It's not about becoming some brand new person from scratch. That's not the goal at all. You don't need a personality transplant. You just need to set a new standard for yourself. It's about deciding that the focused, consistent, healthy version of you isn't some far-off goal. It's the new baseline. It's your new normal. And once that identity truly shifts deep down, the right behaviors just follow, almost automatically. And that leaves us with just one question. It's not about what you're going to do next month or next week. The change starts right now, with one tiny decision, one small vote. So who will you decide to be today?